What's up, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I am Chris 183.
And here we are together, just you and I, continuing our look back on the year 2023, which is almost behind us. Can you believe it's almost 2024, Chris?
I cannot. The years go incredibly too fast anymore. That is a product of being a pop punk dad, unfortunately.
It is. We're aging. We are getting older, but we're keeping our podcast nice and fresh. So as we've been doing in December, looking back on albums that came out this year, and we're going to the boys from Strong Island today, and we're going to talk about the new Taking Back Sunday record, which is called 152, which is I like records that are just numbers. Do you?
I do. What do you think this means? What does 152 mean? Do you know? I don't
152, I think, is on every one of their album covers. It's a reference to like the exit that they used to get off of. So I thought it was the Long Island Expressway, and I did a little bit of research. But I know that Adam grew up in North Carolina. I think that, and the other guys grew up on Long Island. I don't think there's an exit 152 on the Long Island Expressway. I'm pretty sure it's in North Carolina. Some people on Reddit gave some opinions, and there's lots of photos, but it's in reference to, I think it's some sort of inside joke, like the exit they used to take to get off to like meet up with each other and like practice as a band or hang out or whatever.
How old are these guys now? Are they older than us?
I feel like they're definitely a couple years older than us. So my stepsister, one of the guys in Taking Back Sunday, Sean Cooper, went to my high school, and he was in my stepsister's grade, and she's like 4 years older than me. So I would guess that they're all somewhere around that age. So mid to late 40s.
Mid to late 40s. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's funny. It's good thing you did research, by the way. It's always a good thing to do research.
Yeah, I like to poke around a little bit on the interwebs.
Absolutely. It's always good to be prepared with things that are important to say. But Wingman Steve, this album, man, I want to get right into opinions about the entire album. But I feel like we probably need to build to that a little bit. So do we want to talk anything about the album itself? Any release stats or anything you have prior to like giving any opinions?
Just a few things. So this is their 8th studio album. It's 7 years after their last one, which was called Tidal Wave. It came out this year, October 27th in 2023. It's their first record on Fantasy Records. So I'm not too familiar with that record label. It was produced, and I will ruin this name, by Tushar Apte or Apte, A-P-T-E. Tushar Apte, who is kind of a pop producer. They worked with Chris Brown, Demi Lovato, and Nicki Minaj. So we're not referencing other like pop punk production. We're talking about somebody who knows kind of pop and modern music, working with them on this record. So definitely a different direction. So different record label, different producer, and I think that we'll get into it. But there's a different sound for sure. So. They did release, I think, 4 songs before it came out, which they weren't in order, but they were the first 4 songs on the record, including The One was the first single that they put out. So that was a couple of months ago, but it's all out there now. So it's been out for, a month and a half, and people have gotten some chance to digest it. And Taking Back Sunday did a bunch of cool stuff. Did you see that video that I sent it to you where they showed up at somebody's wedding as a surprise? Yeah, that was really cool. And, the boys are all grown up. They're in some nice maroon suits on the cover of this.
Nobody showed up like that at my wedding.
No special guest?
No, and my wedding was like right in the middle of the pop punk explosion. So, kind of disappointed about that because it would have been very easy for any of these bands to show up.
If Derek Whibley shows up in the middle?
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember we had Ryan Key on the show, and I said to him that, hey, it would be cool if we could have had you guys play at my wedding. And I think he kind of declined in retrospect, but I get it, right? I get it. But no, nobody showed up. We did sing a little bit of music at my wedding, which is probably not the same thing, but it's really cool to see stuff like that anyway.
Yeah, they did a bunch of like pop-up shows on Long Island, and they signed like records. They did a lot of cool stuff on Long Island.
Can you imagine just like sitting down for dinner at, I don't know, like the local Eaton Park or wherever you eat, and all of a sudden TBS does a pop-up show.
That would be pretty sick. There's no Eaton Parks where they are, but I think that's just a Pittsburgh thing. But that would be awesome. Or hey, Blink-182 played in a Denny's recently, so I guess it's not impossible.
You don't have Eaton Parks in Eastern PA?
No, I think that's just a Western PA thing. I haven't seen any outside of Pittsburgh or State College personally.
So you don't get the Eaton Park commercial either with the Christmas tree and the star.
I've seen a lot of them from back when I lived in the area in State College, but no, I don't get any of those commercials.
Crazy. So why do you think this band waited 7 years to do an album?
Well, you got to figure that COVID had something to do with it, right? So Tidal Wave came out in 2016, and they just have no problem touring and playing on their older stuff. I mean, as a band that, so to me, the strongest stuff from Taking Back Sunday is their first album, but really their first 3 albums. And they've had no problem tapping into the nostalgia of that. They've done like 10-year tours, 15-year tours. I think they did a 20-year tour probably on Tell All Your Friends. They do holiday shows in New Jersey every single year. Like, they're out and about in the scene. Why they didn't record new music, I'm sure COVID put a little pause in anything that they were doing. And actually, I remember Adam Lazar he made some it was like a funny comment about either, I don't remember if it was about masking or vaccines or whatever. And he put out like a funny little video about it, which I appreciated. But I don't know, I guess, after COVID somewhat passed, they got the itch to put new music together. Obviously, I think it would not be a surprise to say that this doesn't sound too much like other Taking Back Sunday, but yeah, I don't know why the extremely long hiatus, but they're not a band that's been hiding. I mean, they've been on the road. I've seen them like 4 times in the past 4 years,
which is pretty cool. I mean, it's awesome to see a band from back in the day continue things on and really never take, a long break with, either making music or playing music. So it's always cool to see that. I may have the opinion that I don't think this does necessarily sound a ton like Taking Back Sunday, but and I don't think I want to come off like that's a bad thing. So we'll talk about that when we get into the music. But it's funny because this is a band that I probably saw, I don't want to say the most, but they got to be up there. They're one of the bands that I just end up seeing. I ended up seeing the most over the past 20 years. Like they just were always a band that, it was like friends of mine. Hey, let's go see a show. Oh, Taking Back Sunday's there. Oh, let's go see the Taking Back Sunday show. They were just always a show that I ended up at. And they put on a great show every time. I know we've talked about that before. And of course, the memory that I have of seeing them live is, Adam Lazzara climbing all over the stage and up to the top of the stage and taking just crazy jumps off of speakers that were way too high. He was a maniac, but it was It was entertaining. It was entertaining. So
there was one I thought it was going to say "Taking Back Tragedy" on the cover of the newspaper the next day. I was very concerned, but everybody came out unscathed.
And of course, I would have seen them once more at the Four Chord Music Fest had I not decided to leave, because it did not seem like the weather was going to break. But of course, we leave and then we get all this news that they did an awesome acoustic track or an acoustic show in front of everybody because they couldn't turn the electronics, but I don't know what the deal was, but
can't blame you for that. There was extreme weather and not a ton of communication. So you told me the story, and it was. I think it's acceptable that you didn't stick around. It's
sad to miss that though. Like, you want to see that'd be cool. It's not something you see, and it's obviously not something that was planned. So I think it would have been even better. But It is what it is. But I've seen them a lot. I think that's the moral of the story. And each time they were very, very entertaining. So
I've seen them. I did a quick count. I think it's about 10 times. And the last time, or maybe 2 times, I didn't have like that great, at least the last time. It was like one of those big amphitheaters that's outdoors. And, Adam does this thing nowadays. It's funny. We've talked about this together and on the Discord, where he kind of combines like Captain Jack Sparrow and a drunken Southern preacher. And he kind of sings his own way to these songs. And so 2 times ago when I saw them do a holiday show, it was like spectacular. The last time I saw them, it wasn't really that good. So might be time to see what's going on now, especially since they have a new record.
So speaking of this new record, do you have any like overall initial thoughts to when you listen to it? Like, I'd love to hear. We're both fans of this band. You might be a little bit more of a fan, but I don't know, because I really like Taking Back Sunday too. But what were your initial thoughts?
So, I think it popped up in our Discord that somebody asked, oh, hey, I didn't realize Taking Back Sunday came up with a new record. Did anybody check it out? And I think maybe I hadn't yet. It was only a week or two after it came out. And I decided to just give it a quick listen through because, we're always listening to stuff for our show. So it's hard to like mix new music in there if it's not a topic of conversation here. So on first listen, I was pretty underwhelmed and I didn't think that it was a really good album. After a bunch of listens to this point, I will go on record and I say that this is a really, really good album. It's just not the Taking Back Sunday that you and I probably expect, or maybe the Taking Back Sunday that we were looking for. The first three albums, the emo, the screamo, John and Adam back and forth, or John and whoever, Adam and Fred, whoever it is that you prefer in your Taking Back Sunday. This album is just totally different. They've kind of evolved into this. I don't know if it's like an alt rock or an indie rock. They're embracing more pop. There's more like current elements. Obviously, the production is at a different level, and ultimately, after like really deep diving this, I think this album is awesome. It's just not the Taking Back Sunday that we think we know. It's not that Taking Back Sunday. Does that make sense?
It makes it makes total sense. It's hard to really put into words what I was thinking as I was listening through this album, because I was experiencing a bunch of different emotions. You think about what Taking Back Sunday is and their brand, their sound. And you're right. This is not their brand. This is something completely different. It is evolution. Do you think, and I have this in the notes on one of my songs, but I'll talk about it now. I mean, are they making this music for us older pop punk dads, like, and moms, right? The generation that grew up, it feels like this is not music for the younger crowd. It's more for us. It feels that way. It feels more mature. It feels modern, but it feels like a more mature take on music versus something a 25-year-old would listen to. I don't know. I don't want to categorize people, because obviously people of any age like different things, but it just feels that way to me. And maybe it's the chill nature of the songs. Maybe it's the atmospheric effects that they kind of mix in that have that adult, I don't know, it's not contemporary, but just more of a atmospheric, emotional sound. Like, that's something that I want to listen to. I want to listen to now. I want to feel that. And they bring that in these songs. And so that's why I feel like, them evolving their sound into this matches a lot with what I enjoy. And I still enjoy, the stuff from before, but this is just something, and a lot of this too, something new. It's like new sounds, new mixtures, acoustic guitars mixed in with, crazy background synth. I mean, it's just, it's really cool. So
they're new again.
They are. So overall, like, that's my take on it. It feels like it's music made for us, in a certain way, and they do it so well. So I can't wait to get into this, but you and I think you're seeing eye to eye on this for sure.
Yeah. I honestly, when I think about who are they making this record for, I think there's only two groups of people that they're making this record for. I think they're making this record for themselves, because this is what they want to put out there, and this is what they're vibing, this is what they're feeling. And I think they're making it for Taking Back Sunday fans, because I don't really know of an avenue other than, some like online playlists. Like they've never fit into really like a radio band. They're on tour constantly, but I mean, they have a hardcore group of dedicated fans, and Tidal Wave was a little bit different. That was 7 years ago. I didn't really dig Tidal Wave all that much, but I feel like this one is even more, it's more different than anything they've ever done. So I think they did it for themselves, and it's for Taking Back Sunday fans. And Taking Back Sunday fans, to your point, are getting older. You know, we've been there since 2002. The first album came out, so you know, I don't know how new people might find Taking Back Sunday. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I think I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, and they've evolved the sound a little bit, and but anyway, that brings up an interesting question. Do you think the younger fans get into this band as much as we do? And I don't know. Maybe that's the age-old question for any generation. Maybe that's not really a unique question at all. It's like, okay, well, you know, do kids of the 2000s get into bands like Pearl Jam, or do kids of the 90s get into bands like Led Zeppelin? I don't know, right? Maybe. But I don't know. Like, so Taking Back Sunday has been around since when was their inception?
Well, the first record came out in 2002, but I believe they were probably out for a couple of years before that, probably late 90s.
All right, so over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, would a 19-year-old want to hear a band that's over 20 years old? Maybe. But do they have the sound to attract those individuals today that are kind of getting back into this genre? And maybe they're trying to do that here a little bit with the sound. But I don't know. I don't really think so. And that's okay though, because I don't think every band needs to do that. So yeah, maybe they made it for themselves. Maybe they made it for their fans. I like to think they made it for High School Never Ends, the Pop Punk Dad podcast though.
Yeah, and honestly, we could come on here and say, you know, I'm used to the screamy Taking Back Sunday. I want to hear the emo and the screamo, and this is trash. But I don't feel that way. I really enjoyed this, and it was different. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I really liked it.
All right, cool. Well, what else you got before we get into the songs?
I got nothing. I'm ready to get into the songs.
I am too. So go ahead and kick us off with the first song, Amphetamine Smiles.
Amphetamine Smiles. Didn't we just talk about a song, Amphetamines and Jelly Beans? That was Eve 6. Very, very different.
Yes, different conversation.
Yeah. So Amphetamine Smiles kicks off the album as this is a slow kickoff track. You know, this is a really chill. It's a nice, pretty, soft song. And again, a very, very different Taking Back Sunday. There's no punk, there's no emo really at all to this. Starts mostly with acoustic guitar, at least in the beginning of the song. I enjoyed the chorus. I feel like Adam sounds very Gerard Way-ish. I feel like their voices, like if Gerard Way was like, I'm gonna sing this chorus, I don't know if I could notice like the change there. But overall, again, it's usually when you start an album, you want to like punch somebody in the face. But this is kind of like a nice like back massage. Like let me relax you a little bit, put you into this new Taking Back Sunday, this like slower thing, and I dug it. I liked it a lot.
Did you say a back rub?
Yeah, like a back massage, back rub. Yeah,
we're back into that again.
Yeah, we talked about that the last episode. I was just listening back to it, so I was calling it back.
It's funny because, you know, like you said, I'm always the guy that gets on these shows and says, "Oh, I love a kick-ass first song," like you said, punch in the face. You know, Chris 183 is the guy that likes the harder edge sound and so on and so forth. Maybe I'm getting softer and prettier as I get older. I don't know. Like this song resonated with me, Wingman Steve. I think it's an interesting choice though to kick things off with such an emotional track. Like this song is just emo to the core, different kind of emo, but definitely emo. And it hooks you right away though. It hooks you right away with the sound. It sounds, you know, it's just that it's that sound. Maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know. It kind of sounds like, it definitely sounds like this song belongs on or at an impactful moment in a melodrama or maybe one of those teen angst 90s WB shows. But, you know, but for some reason, like I still totally dug it. Not putting down some of those shows because I probably watched them, but I just dug this one. Like something about the vibe, something about the sound. I didn't mind the slow start. And even though it wasn't what I was expecting, it was a pleasant surprise. It was a pleasant surprise. Like, okay, all right. This is what they're trying to bring to the table with this album. This is kind of the sound that they're going to kick things off with to set the tone. I'm okay with this. And I think the reason why is because the music is just so good. The music is good. It's not generic. It's not too repetitive. It's rich. It has meaning to it. It is emotional. And I think that all just comes out in Amphetamine Smiles. So even though it's slow, even though it doesn't get you energized, it still makes you feel, and it still sets this record off the right way. So
yeah, they're not doing too much. They're not doing too little. They're doing just enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So this next song, I was baffled by the title here, and I was like, why is it called Sold? What are they selling? And I was sadly mistaken, because that is not what this title is, correct?
Well, it's interesting that you pose that question, because especially if you listen and if you read the lyrics, I mean, there's definitely a distinction between the first line, you're going to get sold, like S apostrophe old, and then he separates it, you're going to get so old. So I don't know if maybe he's trying to say both of those things, like you're going to get sold, like, sold as in, I don't know, your soul or what you do for a living or, something like that. But then it's also the so old. So I feel like I don't get it 100%, but I feel like there is kind of a dual meaning. Just
like boy's soul, right? For the troll toll?
Yes. You got to pay the troll toll if you're going to get into, how does it go again?
This boy's soul.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just like that. Except I don't think there's apostrophes on that one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the music here again, so you gotta love this modern sound. You gotta love the guitar on this track. This hits you right away. It smacks you right across the face with some awesome tunes. Like the music to me in this track is immersive. It's energetic for sure. There's these fast drums that I just can't get away from. The melody itself is super exciting. And even though half the song is Adam telling me how old I'm getting, or how old I'm going to get, which, okay, I get it. You don't have to continue to remind me, sir. And even though, this song, again, it has that vibe, it almost feels like you're at an Urban Outfitters. Like, this is the perfect album for an Urban Outfitters or something like that. Like, they would, American Eagle. I'm just, riffing on that. But I think that even though I love the product here, I love the product. I just, musically, this once again is a track that hooked me because of just the total package, everything working together. And it's a sound, again, that I wasn't really expecting from this band. So modern feel with still a Taking Back Sunday vibe. It works, and it works well here as well. So I was a big fan of So Old.
So Old. Well, in this track, and in a lot of the tracks, they start off with the guitar, and there's like just kind of these like, I don't know if there's some sort of effect on there, but they make these like spacey kind of like ethereal sounds, which are pretty cool. Which this one kicks off with, and in the verses, there's a little bit of that kind of like old school Adam Lazzara sound. You can hear him. I have a little bit of the sniffles, so I can't. My throat's a little scratchy. I can't get too deep into it, but I think you understand what I'm saying. There's a little bit more of that like old school Lazzara in here. Lots of like ups and downs and changes in the pace. The chorus itself is not like super like sing-alongy. It's not like something that I think like I would drive in my car and like want to shout out, but it's still really enjoyable. Again, I think like you, the music and the final product, I think the song is great. But in terms of like the lyrics, it's not like, so he's making this concept about, we're getting sold, we're getting so old. I feel like he doesn't really like highlight on anything like in particular. It's just kind of like a general thing, which is okay. And again, I'm just like nitpicking things here, but what I'm trying to say is that even though there are little things that maybe I don't, after I'm dissecting it, I'm saying, I didn't care for this or that, but overall, I think the song works really, really well. And I think this is good to put this here at number 2 after the slower Amphetamine Smiles. So I think it was good tracking, and yeah, I thought this was a good song.
Maybe this is the song that convinced me that he's writing this for us, because
That we're going to get so old.
He convinced me that I'm going to get so old, and I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. I don't want to think about it, but it's definitely there. This next track, so this is not the one, the only one. This is the one. Not a lot to say here, but there was two things. One general thought on this song is musically, again, a very rich song. I kind of like the effects on this song a lot. This one, by the way, is not a star. I can tell you that the star system for Chris 183 was in full effect here, and we had almost half the album was starred.
Nice.
So can you believe that? So musically, I was into this one, and I love how Adam delivers the chorus and the bridge in this one. There is just something about it. The way that maybe he changes his pitch, or the way the music turns, I don't know. But the way that he delivers that piece of the song, it's just amazing. And it's just a standout here. It makes the rest of the song better. It's just another great song that I definitely would listen to over and over again. This one, however, I would say this, as much as I liked it, it is not a star. It does not belong with the rest of the stars. So maybe giving some stuff away, but it's still a great one. And you said this was the single, right? Or this is the first single they put out?
Yeah, they must have thought that this was the strongest one. This is the one that they kind of kicked off with.
All right, so what did you think?
Well, a lot of good stuff here. I think that the drumming, especially the drumming, builds anticipation in this song. It builds it like really well. It paces the track out very well. There's a part where John Nolan comes in right after the first chorus, where I can tell that that's him, and love to hear his voice. I don't know 100% if I've heard it yet before. The ending to the song has that Adam, John back and forth that I've grown to love. That tell all your friends back and forth. I love to hear them going back and forth, even when it wasn't John. You know, when the two singers get involved, I think it makes a song really good. In terms of the chorus and the overall feel, Chris, this could be a U2 song. This sounds like, hey guys, let's write a U2 song. And I don't usually like U2 all that much, but I really do like this song. I think this is one of the stronger ones on the album. But that whole, like, you know, you're the one, it just totally sounds like it's got that same vibe as like a 90s U2 jam. Do you feel that?
I felt that in more than one song.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they're calling back to that. Like, I don't know why I keep saying U2, but that's what it kind of sounds like.
That's interesting that you brought that up, because that was in my mind as I was listening to this. And I'm like, maybe I tried to talk myself out of believing that to be true. Because I was like, maybe I'm just hearing things. Maybe I'm just thinking about Bono too much. I don't know. Maybe that's all it is.
I mean, I said that he sounded like Gerard Way in one song, sounds like Bono here. But I just feel like the vibe of the song just has that feel. So not a bad thing. Again, I'm not a huge U2 fan. I'm more of a fan of this than I am of a lot of older U2 stuff.
I'm not really a U2 fan at all. But I mean, that's that poppy power rock, right? Like it's the 80s, 90s sound, but the U2, so when U2, I don't even want to get into this because I'm not necessarily an expert on U2, but the Joshua Tree, that album was a little bit darker, a little bit more emo in temperament. And maybe that's kind of what I'm drawing references from, is that particular album. Like that's where one love, but we're not the same. You know, that one?
Yep.
Like that's kind of what I'm pulling from these songs here. Not as much like later songs that aren't as good, like Beautiful Day. Ugh, I hate that song. Ugh. Sorry, Bono, if you're listening.
Probably not.
I mean, you never know anymore, right?
He's off bettering the earth.
I guess. But anyway, that's all I really had to say about that song. And it sounded like you were wrapped up too. I don't know. I cut you off. So
No. We're good. Should I keep going or do you want to keep going?
oh, keep going, Steve.
I'll keep going. So the next song is called Keep Going. Fun fact. So the guys, I don't know if it was I think it was the Hawthorne Heights Instagram account, or X Twitter account, that they tweeted out that this might be the best Taking Back Sunday song ever written. I don't know that I agree with that, but I definitely like the vibe of this one a lot. It's got some keys. It starts off with those whoa, whoa, whoas. And Adam sounds like a little angry. Like he's got some of that like retro Taking Back Sunday anger. You know, the problem is that you stayed the same. You boot stomping, bloodletting son of a bitch. You know, the whole, I know what you did. I know what you're doing. I know what you did. You know, kind of back to those, you know, there's no I in team 70 times 7 days where he was going at it with Jesse Lacey. It's a good callback to that. So I don't know if this is the best Taking Back Sunday song ever written, but I definitely get into this one too. I think the chorus is pretty good. At first, I didn't think it was all that sing-alongy, but the more I listen to it, the more that I like it. But it does have that like kind of, I don't want to say modern rock, but whatever it is, it sounds like kind of like a rock. The chorus sounds like a rock song, but there's a lot of other elements to it. I love the line, "The problem isn't that I've changed. The problem is that you've stayed the same." I like that a lot. The only beef that I have with this song is really, really silly, Chris. Do you know the movie Spaceballs?
I do.
Are you like into Spaceballs so much that you know like the whole movie by heart like me, or are you just kind of you're just an overall fan?
I mean, when I was younger, I used to watch it literally all the time. I had it on VHS. I would watch it all the time.
Me too. I had it. It was recorded from HBO on a VHS. Same VHS tape with the Goonies. The Goonies and Spaceballs, same VHS.
I may have had the same thing.
That would be impressive. That would be quite the coinky dink. But so the only thing is, again, it's super silly, but like there's this one scene in Spaceballs where Princess Vespa is stuck in a jail cell and she's singing to herself, "Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows but Jesus." And then he goes, "What? She's a bass." And anytime in this chorus, because that is the exact line in this chorus, "Nobody knows the trouble I've seen," I just can't not think of that. Doesn't stop me from enjoying this song at all, but there's no way that doesn't pop into my head every single time it's gone on.
That's amazing. I didn't catch that at all. So now I'm going to have to go back and listen to it to see if that's what I hear too. I cannot believe you made a Spaceballs reference. That's the first time ever on the show.
Is it?
I think so.
I'm a big fan of Spaceballs. And it's fitting because there is kind of like an 80s inspired outro into the song as well towards the end.
One of these days we'll have a Spaceballs episode. How about that?
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
Absolutely. That stuff never came out, by the way. It was always looking for those things and it never happened.
Neither did Spaceballs 3, What the Hell Happened to 2?
I guess. But
or Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Oh man, I could probably quote half that movie, but yeah, so first of all, I thought he was saying long pants but he wasn't. He's not saying long pants.
I believe it's long past.
Yes, but it sounded like long pants. And I have no problem with long pants. I happen to wear them a lot.
When it's not, when it's cooler. Yeah, sure.
I'm not a shorts guy all the time. You know what I mean? Like I used to be, but now not as much. But I'm surprised at you. This isn't OOs. This is a Steve Paradise. This is exactly what you want and what you're looking for. So I'm surprised you weren't more into it because of that.
Oh, I only said good things about it.
Yeah, but I thought you'd be over the moon.
I'm on the moon. I'm on the moon. I didn't go quite over it. I'm on it.
I really think this is an amazing tune. Tons of energy once again, and I really love and dig that frantic lyrical delivery. I love that. Like it's just different. It just sounds great, and he pulls it off so well with that, like you said, that angry voice. But there's this filter. It feels like there's this filter over his voice. I think it's just at times. that they do that, but it's such a cool effect when they do, when they pick the times to do that filter to make his voice sound just like kind of wobbly or grainy or something. I don't know what it is, but it adds to the song. The melody once again is amazing. The chorus is memorable. Once again, this does not sound like a TBS song, but who cares? Who cares really on this one? I think it's just this is one of the best. Like I feel like it is one of the best. I just think it is. I love this song. I love this song for a lot of different reasons. And maybe if it wasn't even if it wasn't a Taking Back Sunday song, I still would love it. But I think that, they just do such a great job with this one and do something a little bit different, but make it sound so good. So there's been a lot of bands that have done different things that you kind of just scratch your head. This isn't one of them. So big fan of Keep Going.
Well, then keep going to the next one.
Yeah, I am the only one who knows you. This is one of those long titles, right? Kind of weird, but
it's a sentence, it's a statement.
So funny enough, like I'm actually into this. I called it emo pop. I don't know if that's what it is or what you would necessarily feel like this would be, but I was immediately drawn to this guitar riff in this song. It's something like that. It just stuck in my head that whatever that riff was throughout the whole song, it was so good, so just looming and I said atmospheric already, but once again, it has that feeling to it. I feel like I'm sailing. This is an easy song to listen to. You feel floaty. You feel like everything around you is just kind of just there. You can just kind of lay back and enjoy this one. It almost feels like, and honestly, like you think about other songs, it sounds like that riff almost sounds like a soft rock song, Sailing by Christopher Cross. I'm pretty into yacht rock stuff. This is, you're not a fan?
I don't know that I know yacht rock enough to really comment.
This goes way back to when that yacht rock term was coined, and I was into that whole thing back then. But anyway, Sailing by Christopher Cross, it has that it's not exactly the same, but it sounds like that riff from that song a little bit. But even beside that, they bring it into something completely different. This is just such a cool song, and I think again, it's that riff, it's that mixture with the track and with the production on this one. There is some production, of course. They draw into this, but man, does it end up being just a super awesome atmospheric tune. So I'm into this one big time. Steve?
Yeah, atmospheric is a good word. I wrote ethereal. It does feel like that you're like kind of like in space. You're in the stars. It's a really nice ballady song. It's the second one out of the first 5 tracks. This is one that I could totally see as like in a romantic comedy. There's like a montage where the guy is like figuring out what he did wrong, and he has to like, I gotta go find the girl at the airport and get through security, and I'm going to do anything that I can to go up that escalator. And then they meet, and I'm the only one who knows is in the background. Like this fits that perfect, that teen drama or that romantic comedy. But I'm drawn to this one a lot too. I think that the vocal delivery is really good. I love that one line. He says, and just because you're winning, it doesn't mean you got nothing to lose. Yeah, I'm on the same ethereal plane as you. I think this is a really good one. Not something that I was, I don't always look to Taking Back Sunday for ballads, but they've now done 2 really, really well on this album.
Do you think they should quit trying at this point in time?
I mean, they're doing pretty well. Again, we did a full Taking Back Sunday episode long time ago, episode 20, I think it was, and I didn't think I had too much great to say about Tidal Wave, but yeah, I think this is proof that they should not quit trying.
I have another thought in my head, but we'll get to that at the end. So go ahead and keep it going. Parlay that into the next song.
Yeah. Again, I'm being a little repetitive, but I just dug the vibe around this one too. I think that they're using these tones and they're doing this like pop rock or pop emo, whatever it is. And even though, the chorus is pretty simple, the music around it, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's really enjoyable. The part where he repeats the word trying like a million times, that does kind of sound a little like Jack Sparrow preacherish, I'm just trying. That part, not as great, but towards the end of the song, there's a bridge that has this piano in it. The song then gets like really, really soft and then kind of bangs back in with the just quit trying. So I think we're on a roll. I think it's a good song.
It bangs back in, huh?
It does.
Interesting.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know what I think here. Finally, I'm not as into this one. Like, this is one that kind of isn't my thing, and I just, maybe it's a little bit too Imagine Dragons or Chainsmokers to me, and it's not that I don't necessarily. I'm sorry, I don't like Imagine Dragons at all. But I'm not trying to put it down per se. I think maybe it just skirts that line of just too much on the edge of like modern pop music that I'm not as into. That's probably why I feel that way. There's some cool stuff here, like the effects and the background vocals there's some I don't know if they're vocals or just sounds or effects or what they are, but there's some cool stuff, I guess, that are in here. But I just never really felt close to the melody. I never really felt close to the music. And nothing about the lyrics really drew me in either. So it's a fine song. It's not a song I would turn away from, I guess. But definitely not one of the ones that I would put towards the top. So
fair enough. What about Lightbringer?
That's an very interesting title. Lightbringer. It feels like that's the name of a sword from like Game of Thrones or something, right?
Or Thor or something like that.
Yeah, like an Asgardian something, Lightbringer.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know where that connects to this song. I try to look at the lyrics to understand, and I'll probably look at them again while you're talking, and I'll kind of reconsider my thoughts. Do you feel like he's singing in this song with like some kind of weird accent though? Like,
what kind of accent?
I don't know. It seems like he's not like an accent from a different country, but just like a different accent or an accent that he's made up. Doesn't sound like his regular singing voice. Do you remember? Do you hear that?
I don't know that I hear that. So the one thing that I did write down that I heard, the one line where he goes, I can't remember when we crossed that line. That like reminds me of like Bon Jovi. I don't know if that's a line from a Bon Jovi song or some song like that, or like Ryan Adams or is it Brian Adams? Brian Adams.
I was going to say Brian Adams. That's the way you delivered that sounded like the summer of '69.
Yeah, it has that set.
Or
like
Don
Bon Jovi.
Henley.
Yeah, like something like that. But go ahead. You were you done?
No, I solicited your feedback there. So
okay.
The one thing that I'll tell you though about this song, and I probably just peaked the mic because I was so excited, but it's that transition. It's that transition in this song where there's a certain point where the song changes, and I was gonna write it down. I think it's where he says, "Oh, it's just like you said." That's where things kind of get a little bit different. And that's not necessarily like a chorus or anything, I don't think. It's just because the chorus is something else. But the pace changes, the song changes, and I love that transition. I like the way it starts. I love the way it ends. But the way that it transitions in the middle, it's not even in the middle. It's like just randomly. It really hooked me as something super interesting. And I was musically, I was surprised, and it was a very pleasant surprise. So stuff like that out of nowhere, I think is great. So I love that they're doing that kind of stuff in a song like this. I didn't think that the accent, by the way, was a bad thing too. I think it worked. So I was into this song. I really was. When I heard Lightbringer, I'm like, I think this is probably dumb. It wasn't. It wasn't. And they do it again. They do it again. They do it a lot. They do it mostly with the music, but not exclusively. So go ahead, Steve. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the song?
Yeah, the song again, it's kind of pretty slow to start. It's got another like spacey kind of sound to it with the guitars. I'd mentioned the little bit of like whatever it was, John Bon Jovi or Bryan Adams that it reminded me of. The chorus itself also really, and I don't know why I know this song. I just looked it up. It's by Lizzo. I just knew it was a song called "Good as Hell," and I heard it on the radio or in a TV. You know, do the head check my net, yeah, I'm good as hell. So when again, it's just a thing that every time I hear this, when he starts with that, you wore your hair back when. That's what my brain goes to. I don't know why it associates to that. The song for me is fine. I don't think it does all that much for me. It doesn't bring me as much light, I think, as it brought you. There's some good guitar work in there, but I would call this one, kind of middle of the road for me. Not one of my favorites on the album.
I'm going to write that down.
What? That I was reminded of Lizzo?
That you referenced Lizzo on the show.
There's a first for that. Spaceballs and Lizzo. Who knew?
I'm going to make you a shirt of all firsts. Wingman Steve firsts. Definitely those two are going on there. Spaceballs and Lizzo. How do you feel about that? Feel pretty good?
Make the shirt. As long as it's designed well.
I got to go back and listen to every episode.
Oh, you don't listen back to the episode, so that's going to be tough for you.
I mean, how many episodes have we had so far?
201.
That's not that much, right? That should only take me a couple days to get through that content, right?
Well, some of them get close to 2 hours, so I would say that's at least 300 to 350 hours of listening. Good luck.
Just take some time off and get it done, right? But
it's the holidays. You got some time off.
Yeah, it is the holiday season. It is the holiday season, and this next song does not remind me of that. This reminds me of when we used to go out and get new music, but it was never really on Friday, right? New Music Friday. I feel like new music came out on Tuesdays.
Yeah, you're right. Back in the day, it came out on Tuesdays, but I think now most artists release their stuff on Fridays.
You know what's a big problem too is I'm kind of really getting into this album. You know what the first thing I do anymore is?
What's that?
Look on Amazon or look online to see where I can buy the vinyl.
Oh, so that's your thing. Usually, like with new records, you can buy it directly from them.
I don't know, but I don't know where to buy them. And I haven't bought them. So that's the thing. Like I look them up and I'm like, I should buy. I could see myself listening to this album from front to back. But then Absolutely. It's like, well, while I have this, like I could probably get a twofer with another Taking Back Sunday album. So I'll just buy them both. And then that's a rabbit hole that I do not want to fall into.
Just keep going.
Dude, like I just have no money then. I would just spend all the money on all of it.
Talk to our friend from Too Many Records. He could share your pain.
I guess, but that's just the last thing I need. So New Music Friday. The drums here, Wingman Steve, the drums are really cool. I like how it's kind of like a pulsing drum roll. It's just, that's a really cool effect, right? Like I don't know where I've heard that before. So I think that's a standout. And this is another one of those atmospheric songs. Actually, this is more of like a carefree song. This is more of like a feel-good song. This is a song where I feel like I probably should grow my hair out long so I can have the wind blow through it while I'm listening to it. Wouldn't you feel like that would be better?
I don't really have the desire for long hair, personally.
People can pull it off. They can pull it off. Older guys can pull it off sometimes. They can.
I'm not saying I couldn't pull it off. I just don't have the desire to try.
You can have the longer hair with the clean shaven or the longer hair with the beard like you have now, or you can have a long beard with long hair.
You've got a new business as a stylist that you're going to set up. Chris 183's looks. Going to style people's hair and facial hair on top, clothes, the whole 9 yards.
So
Side hustle.
Hold on. So you're telling me that there's a market, like if you'd come into my place and I'd say, okay, here are your options, sir. You can either have long hair, you can have short hair, you can have a long beard, or you can have a short beard.
And what combination of those things with that person is best?
Yeah, but how am I going to give somebody a long beard or long hair?
I guess you'd have to just suggest what they should do with their life. I guess maybe it's more of a life coaching business mixed with a stylist.
If I could give somebody long hair on the spot, though, don't you think that would be a good business?
Yeah. I mean, you could sell wigs if that's what you're talking about.
No, I mean, all like real long hair. Like you have to, I would find a way.
I'm sure there are people that have less hair that would love that.
Let's talk about this after the show.
Okay, yeah. New Music Friday. Were you finished with your...
I was absolutely finished. I wanted to go to what you thought.
Yeah, I really dig this song. I don't get why it's called New Music Friday. Maybe that's just like is this a feeling that that people get of happiness, and that's what the song is about? I'm not exactly sure, but I think the song is pretty decent. I like the fact that the first chorus kind of sounds like it's a little bit of a marching band, and then in the second chorus, it gets into a little bit more of a rock vibe. But this is kind of just one that, I don't know, I just kind of listen along and kind of rock out to without having, I didn't look too deep into the lyrics. Or I wouldn't say that there's like one part of it that sticks out, but I thought overall it's a good song.
I didn't think that the next song was that great. I thought the Juice to Me, and first of all, like I was thinking of Juice WRLD, and I don't know, just thinking of anything with juice in it. So, and that's has nothing to do with the song at all. I just, nothing stuck out. It was fine, but it wasn't amazing. Similar to what, I forget which song I said was kind of the same thing. But it's kind of like that, where you're getting to the end of the album here, and for something to really, strike me, it has to be really good. And this one just has nothing striking in it. So no huge moments of wow for me with Juice to Me. And I don't know, like lyrically, does it do anything special? You tell me. Maybe you found something I didn't.
I think so. I kind of disagree. I think that this song is awesome. Lyrically, I understand like the sentiment that he's going for, like adult relationship struggles. It's another cryptic title. Obviously, I don't know what the hell Juice #2 Me is. It starts off with this weird like keyboard / guitar like shred, this kind of weird thing in the beginning. But the chorus here is great. There's the back and forth with John Nolan in the background, John and Adam together. Any song where I feel like that is highlighted makes me like it a whole lot. And I thought this was a really strong song. I liked it a lot here at the end. Close to the end.
Close to the end. One song short of the end.
We just got A Stranger Left.
Yeah, and I can go first on this one, and then you can wrap us up. I'm into the acoustic sound mixed with the produced effects. I think that I mentioned that at the beginning of this show, and this is what I was alluding to, was this song. I really, really like how they take that acoustic sound, the acoustic guitar, and then they meld it into like kind of a modern produced backing track or effect. It sounds great to me. I don't know. Like I know there's probably those of you out there that feel like that's not something that works, or you don't want to hear the two, but I kind of do. So the contrast of that, it just ties in. This song has a great contrast overall. I'm just not used to hearing something like that. Maybe, like I don't think I've heard that a lot. And I said that before on this evaluation of this album. Like there's a lot of things on here that I'm just not used to hearing, and I really dig that. I really dig that. I like hearing new things that work. Sounds new to me. It really does. And I'm a big fan of that. So this being the last track, I don't think that they putter out. I think that they get even stronger. It's a great track. I wrote down, don't you treat me like a, and I can't see this last word that I wrote down. What was that line? Because I thought that was that was when he started to get like super into it, I think, with the lyrical delivery.
Don't you treat me like a stranger?
There it is. I love that line in here, and I think it's just the way he delivers it. I think it just kind of ties a bow on why I like this song so much. So, a lot of great things here, guys. I think that they really knocked it out of the park with The Stranger, and this is not a Billy Joel cover.
No, well, so that part at the end where he says, don't you treat me like a stranger, it's that final verse. It's really cool. There's like it's kind of like screaming back and forth, but the way that he delivers it is like, I don't know, it's almost like Axl Rose-ish, like kind of like hair metal-y. Don't you treat me like a stranger. Again, sorry, fucked up voice right now. But yeah, I thought the song was pretty cool. It for some reason it gives me this like slightly 80s vibe. I don't know if it's just like the guitars or the sounds. But kind of going back to that, don't you get lonely, don't you get lonely. There were a couple things I didn't understand. He talks about, I know a couple guys that are going to handle it. Maybe sounds a little the Long Island Mafia bit to me. But overall, I think it's a pretty strong closer. I liked it a whole lot. And at the very end, they seem to talk to me because there's a line where someone's on the phone and he says, "Steve, it's your father. I'm calling to see if you had fun." And the first time that played, I was in the car with my daughter and she's like, "Did someone just say your name?" And I'm like, "Wait, I don't know. I don't think so." And then I listened again and I don't know who Steve is. There's no one named Steve in the band, but that's an interesting little tidbit at the end there. So I think it ends strong.
Who is it? Was that like somebody's dad or something? Or
it's supposed to sound like someone's dad. I don't know if it's, I don't know who really recorded it.
What does he say? He says, "Steve, it's your father. I hope you had a good time." Is that what he says?
I'm calling to see if you had fun. That's it.
Okay. I did, whoever you are.
I had fun too. I really came in to this album with low expectations. I really did. And they were exceeded. But not the same Taking Back Sunday from olden days, but still a really good album.
I think overall, and we'll get to this next segment, which I can't remember what we do next, but maybe it'll come to me. This is something that I really have been thinking about the whole time we've been talking. Do we think that do we really like this album? I don't want to say love, but do we really like this album? You can speak for yourself. I don't want to speak for you. But if this wasn't Taking Back Sunday, would we still feel the same way? Is this album good because of it, because it's good? Or is this good because we like Taking Back Sunday?
I don't know that I know how to separate those things. You mean like if Imagine Dragons put this out and it sounded like I don't think anybody else could make these, the voice, the combinations, the music. I don't know that somebody else could do it like they did. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't mean that I like imagine another band doing this. I just mean like, are we into this album because it's a good album, or are we into this because we want? You know how sometimes you really are into a band, and you really want to like everything that they do. Like you really want to find a way to get used to or learn to like stuff because you don't want to have something in the catalog of a band you love that you don't like. And look, we maybe that doesn't hold true for us on this show. We're very opinionated about the things that we like and don't like. But I'm just thinking this through. Like, are you projecting onto this album like this is Taking Back Sunday? So, I'm going to find a way to like this no matter what? Or is this just a damn good album that that would be good no matter what? And I think it's the latter. I do.
When you phrase it that way, I agree, because I wouldn't have to like this album just because it's Taking Back Sunday. I would not, because again, I didn't dig Tidal Wave all that much. I wasn't even all that into their self-titled record or Happiness Is. Maybe a couple of tracks between those three records. I wasn't all that into it, and I love Taking Back Sunday. So no, but I definitely gave it the benefit of the doubt of listening to it because it was them.
Yep. Well, I guess that's it for that. And I don't know, Steve. I feel like before we wrap it up, I really, really, really would love to go into the next segment that we call Ranking It. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of the show where everybody that is currently on the show, whether it's be a guest or me and Steve, we rank our favorite songs that we've just talked about, right? Or whatever it is we're talking about. Is it movies? Is it TV shows? It doesn't matter. We like to rank them. So for today, we're going to rank our top 3 songs on the album 152 or 152, however you want to put it, by the band Taking Back Sunday. And this one's going to be really difficult because I think we really were into more than 3 songs. How do you do it? I don't know. But Steve, why don't you kick this one off? Why don't you go first with your top 3?
I agree. This was very difficult because, we haven't had that much time. It's only been out for a month and a half, and we've only been listening to it for a couple of weeks. So how do you take these 10 tracks and put them in the ones, figure out exactly what the order is? But I think I did my best. Number 3, I'm going to go with one of the spacey ballads. I'm going with I Am the Only One Who Knows You at number 3. Number 2, I'm giving it to The One, which was the first single, which I didn't really listen to that much when it first came out, but it definitely grew on me. And hopefully Chris and I are not the voices that you all need out of your heads, but I'm going with Juice to Me as the number 1, even though I don't like the title of the song, and you didn't dig that one that much. I really liked it, so I'm going to give that my top spot.
All right, here we go. This was a tough one because I'm going to leave a song out that I did not want to leave out of this, but I have to. And that song I'm leaving out is I Am the Only One Who Knows You. I did not want to leave this one out, but I did. So this is still near and dear to me, but it's not my top 3. Okay, so number 3 is Keep Going. A lot of great stuff about this track. I think it's the energy and the frantic nature of the lyrics that just hook me. Love the melody. Tons of great things here. So Keep Going, number 3. Number 2 is going to be So Old. So Old. I love the immersive nature of the music. It was again, very energetic. It stuck in my head. I immediately connected with it. Sometimes there's songs where you need some time with. Sometimes there's songs where you don't. This is one of those that I think you don't. I think this is one of those songs that hits you right away and you end up liking right away. And it was for me. So Old is number 2. And then number 1, weirdly enough, is the last track, and that's The Stranger. Something about the unique nature of this track just sold me like none other. That mixture of acoustic and modern sound, I just could not get enough of. I would listen to this song on repeat. The contrast is amazing between the different sounds on this track. This sounded like a brand new song to me that I've never heard before. So love this one. Hopefully you guys did too. But that's my top 3, Steve.
That's 6 out of 10. Totally different. All three were different for both of us. I think that means it's a good album.
I think so.
So how good is it? When you look at Taking Back Sunday's discography, where does this one fit?
It's hard to say. I mean, because I don't want to displace some of the earlier albums that just sound completely different. I mean, they just have a different place for me. So I don't want to take a cop out here. I don't know. I can't put it. I'm looking at the, I'm just saying, I knew you were going to ask this question, and man, is this a tough one. Man, is this just because I don't want to displace those first couple albums. Okay. I'm just going to do it. I think that I'm going to put it number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so it's one of their best albums.
Top 3. Yeah.
I think I'm going to take the same answer that I took when we did the Blink-182 One More Time record, and say that there are 3 albums that I don't know that it could beat. The first 3 albums, whichever order you put them in. I mean, for me, Tell All Your Friends, there's no better Taking Back Sunday record than Tell All Your Friends. But I think this one sits pretty solidly at either 3 or 4. So I think it's in the top half, and good for them. This is something that's brand new that just came out, and I think it kicks ass, even though it's totally different. So I might have to think twice. I don't have tickets to see them at their holiday show, but maybe I should grab some and see what date that is.
I might debate you on that, though, someday, because I might think that Louder Now is better than Tell All Your Friends.
You can think that. There's no way that you would convince me for me to think that, but you can think that.
I mean, I could try.
Possibly.
Never say never.
Yep.
Never say never.
Okay, I won't say it, but never.
You just said it.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
You'd never know these guys are from Long Island, too. They don't speak with that kind of accent.
Well, Adam's not from Long Island.
Well, then there you go. That's why.
The rest are.
So the rest of them are guys like, hey, I'm walking here. Like they're like that guy.
They're walking here, yeah.
All right. But Adam's not.
They like their bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup.
Where's Adam from?
I think Adam grew up in North Carolina.
Okay.
And that's where I think him and John both live there now. I'm not exactly sure where everybody else lives.
Any other closing thoughts on this album or on TBS in general?
Nope. If you listen to us this long talk about this record and maybe you weren't excited about Taking Back Sunday's new music, I would just say, I think Chris and I would both say, give it a good deep dive. Give it a listen. Give it a chance. I think you'll like it.
Absolutely. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our look at 152 by Taking Back Sunday. During our mini-series that we call 2023 A Look Back, not 2003, 2023.
Correct.
We're very, very excited to be doing these mini-series, especially this one, taking a look at some of the newer music that's out there. I know that sometimes Chris 183 can be a little critical about newer music, but I think this goes to show that there is newer music out there that Chris 183, I don't speak in the third person a lot, but I'm just doing it now, can connect with. So hopefully you guys feel the same. If not, we'd love to know. We'd love to hear you. We'd love to know why, and we'd love to know, reasoning behind it. I can tell you right now, one of the best places that you can converse with us on these topics and any other topic related to anything we talk about on the show or anything pop punk is on our Discord channel. You can get to that or any of our other socials through our hub, I believe, Steve, hsnepod.com will connect you to all of our socials. I just stole your thunder. I do want to talk about one more thing though, and you can take one of mine. The shop. This is the time of year where obviously you're out there buying gifts for yourself or for others. We have HSNE swag that's out there that you guys can purchase as gifts or for yourself. I would buy a hat for myself, of course. We got cool things like hats, shirts, mugs. So check it out. Our shop is also linked via our hub. That's www.hsnepod.com. That'll take you to the Dragon Wagon shop where you can check out all this cool stuff.
Yep. And another cool way to support our show would be if you give us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple. You could write something nice. You can write a written review on both Apple and on Spotify, and that'll make Chris and me feel really good. So next week, we're going to be back. We're going to talk about another album that came out in 2023, and spoiler alert, it's going to be something a little different. So I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully, Chris, you are as well, and hopefully all you out there will too. Until then, keep on rocking those dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hi there. My name is Steven Sable. I'm a theater producer, director, and actor of the stage who truly loves the works of William Shakespeare. We all know the writer and his legendary stories and sonnets and poems. A writer who took risks, exposed truths, and placed a mirror to the world and culture of his era. But who was Shakespeare the man? Wasn't that long ago that I discovered the answer to that question isn't as clear as I had always been told. Was he the grain dealer with a name that kind of sounds like Shakespeare, who never bothered to teach his own children to read? Or was the Shakespeare name itself a pseudonym used to protect the identity of a secret nobleman riding for the crown? Join me as I explore literary history's greatest mystery on my podcast, Don't Quill the Messenger. It's a part of Dragon Wagon Radio. You can find it now at don'tquillthepodcast.com and all available podcast platforms.
It's Dragon Wagon.